Steve Broyles first in tonight. Good for you, Poppy. Mike Draco. Nice to see you and Michael at TMMR. Scott Stefano. Hey now. Hey, it's good to see all you guys, man. This is Chris with Cycle Source Magazine, and we're getting ready in 4.5 minutes to go live with an episode of Coast to Coast. Chris and special mystery guest host, who I won't even get into it. You'll be surprised. Coming up in just 4 minutes. We're going to have a great show. Make sure you hit the like and share button. Help us get this out there everywhere. Let your friends and neighbors know we're going live with Two Wheel Entertainment. Coast to Coast, 4 minutes. I see Nancy Weems has rolled in munchies in tow. She's ready tonight. Walter Benarski, New Jersey checking in. Keith Kronoff, good to see you. Alan R., Bayshore, New York. Mohawk Mike in from Arizona with us. Mark Kanduk, let's roll. Going to be a great show. Lori Struck Da Silva with us. Everybody's rolling in for our guest tonight, Miss Gina Woods. It's going to be a fantastic show. Just 2.5 minutes and we're going live with this one. Get ready, grab a drink, kick back and relax, and get ready to go coast to coast with Chris Summer Simmons in 2.5. Derek Taylor letting the cat out of the bag. Smoke out! Exclamation point. We made an announcement just the other day on Sunday on our other show, Shop Talk. We are bringing back the smoke out. Absolutely right. It's our honor and our privilege to carry the torch for the next generation of the smoke out, so we don't lose that one. But thank you for bringing it up. Hey, just 1.5 minutes, man, and we're going live with this one. But listen, I want to remind you guys that yellow box on the left-hand side of the screen. You don't have to just sit back and be an observer. You can get involved in the show. Put your comments, questions, and concerns right in there, and the host will get through the rest of the show and try to include you in it. 1.5 minutes, we're going live. Flybroad checking in. Cody, Wyoming. Joshua Seepter. NCAPS, Canada. Steve Broyles. So good to see you here. Stick around, man. We're short time now. Jeremy Valentine, good to see you here, man. Jim Wibby, Avon, Minnesota. One man outside feeding the Zimsquitos. Scott Stefano giving us the official Bubba Booey. 28 seconds left, man. That means it's time for us to get this one out of the stable, up onto the racetrack, and go live with this week's episode of Coast to Coast. Here we go.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Coast to Coast. Great to see you all checking in there all over the place. Yes, it's the show about women in motorcycling, all aspects of motorcycling. But we do have a special guest co-host tonight because the other guy that doesn't come here is not off. He's off today. He's actually on his way home from Tennessee. We'll talk about that later a little bit. But I'd like to bring in our special co-host, and I think you might recognize him. Come on in. Where are you? Oh, there you are.
Hey, Cannibal Nation. Oh, wrong show.
Wrong show. Yeah, but you can still hit the like and share. You can mash it.
Mash that share button. Jason would be proud of us, right? Mash that share button. Tell all your friends. Tell your neighbors. Go shout it out your window. Tell everybody about it.
It's great to see you, Rob.
Great to see you, too.
Yeah.
When are you coming east?
I'm coming east. I don't know when. When are you coming west?
I don't know when.
Well, listen, I'm coming a little further east. So,
You came halfway, actually. You met me halfway, and I'm still.
I know.
Can't make it out there.
Beth, you guys got to get out here.
We're trying. We're giving it a shot. We're trying.
Definitely.
How's the decider? How's my friend Pat?
The decider. He's out doing something. He'll probably make some noise here in a few minutes. Actually, we're getting ready to go to an AMCA swap meet motorcycle show. Yes, in Chico, California.
When is that?
It's Sunday. We're gonna go with Vince
Martin. Sunday. It's Sunday.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be signing some books and probably selling some parts. So.
What are you selling?
I don't know.
You got to send me pictures of what you're selling.
You're I can cut loose with, because there's a lot of junk. Yeah.
It's a lot of junk. Got to cut loose with some stuff.
Anyway, so we've had a really good day. I have I have three grandsons. So today I went to the bookstore and I was looking for books for them. But then I found this really cool girl on a motorcycle. It's about the first woman from 1972, some lady from France who rode a motorcycle all around the world.
Who wrote it?
Kids book.
Whose name is that?
Amy Novelsky wrote it, and I just read it, and it's really cool. It talks about her little trip, and I just love this first page because it's like, for a kid's book, it tells what the things that she brought with her. Unbelievable. It looks like what I brought on the chase, except for like 10 times that.
Yeah, she didn't have a bread basket.
She didn't have a bread basket. She wasn't delivering bread. Anyway, that's awesome that I got to find that cool book today. And I want to talk about a few other things because I know that Charlie Brechtel did the Rough Boys movie, and he has a bike. There it is. You found it. Look at you.
He is unbelievable.
He's quick. Man,
he is quick.
I know. Yeah, how come I didn't see that? Anyway, I'm going to talk about Charlie bike. Because Charlie built this really cool 61 Panhead. They were going to do this thing when the Rough Boys movie came out. It was like a golden ticket. You had to find things in the movie. But they decided, in Charlie's honor, to raffle this bike off, and all the 100% of the proceeds would go to the Sturgis Motorcycle Museum Hall of Fame. How cool is that? And Charlie would be really honored that they're doing that. So I wanted to mention that. Something to do with.
That's very cool.
Yeah, what a cool bike that is too. Really neat. And it's for a great cause. It's August 13th. I guess they're going to sell raffle tickets and then pull the winner in Sturgis, it sounds like. So
yeah,
I wanted to
don't tell Jason about it. He's going to want it. He's going to want somebody to give it to him.
Oh yeah, because he likes to get free stuff.
Yeah, free stuff.
I know. I didn't get the stickers yet. I still have some stickers, some questions some trivia.
I'll remind him tomorrow night. It's the flannel mafia is going to get down on him.
Yeah, too. That'd be cool. Anyway, I want to talk about a few events too. Babes Ride Out East is happening June 4th through 6th in Narrowsburg, New York. That's a cool event. There's a lot of ladies events coming up. And that's the newest one. Closest to, I think.
So tell everybody a little bit about what Babes Ride Out is. You know that, right?
Well, it's a girls' ride, but Mike wants to go. Michael Victor keeps saying, "Can I go?" And I'm like, "No."
Well, Mike has a wig, doesn't he? He has a wig instead of the beret. He'll wear the wig.
He wears the wig. And Actually, I want to say hi to Mike because he might be watching. He's on his way back from Tennessee, from the Tennessee Motorcycle Music Revival. I guess it was a huge event, a lot of fun. A lot of people I know went. I'm so jealous, but maybe next time.
Yeah, and I think Source Media has some video footage that they're going to be putting up pretty soon.
Right.
From some of the stuff they covered down there. So we saw a little bit of it. It looked great.
Yeah, it looked like a really fun time. I think people are just ready to bust out, and go have some fun. So, it's like I'm ready. I know that.
So have you ridden the bikes yet?
No, not yet.
Did you start, buddy?
We pulled him out and we said hi to him. We kicked him over times, but we got to go get some gas.
Did you tell him I said hi?
We haven't been here in 8 months.
Right.
I didn't tell him you said hi, and he misses you terribly. I said, why isn't that guy out here?
I'm very fond of that motorcycle.
I know, and he's fond of you. I looked at some of the parts that we took off. I'm like, God, should I sell that? What is that? I mean, that fender we took off.
Yeah.
What's it off of? I don't know what it's worth. Anyway, I'll talk to you later about that. But
okay.
We have a really cool segment that we started a couple weeks ago called "Incredible Women of Motorcycling History," and I think we have that ready to go. I'm not sure, but
that's a great segment.
I know I have so much fun doing it, but check it out. Check it out, you guys. See if you can. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Incredible Women in Motorcycling History. Today, I'd like to tell you a little bit about Clara Wagner. Clara Marion Wagner was born in 1891 in St. Paul, Minnesota, into a motorcycling family. Her father, George Wagner, was the founder and manufacturer of Wagner motorcycles from 1901 up until 1914. At age 15, his daughter Clara, already an avid rider, became the first female to hold a card membership in the FAM, which was the Federation of American Motorcyclists. This was in 1907. In 1910, Clara, who was already very experienced at riding Wagner motorcycles, decided to enter a 365-mile endurance ride from Chicago, Illinois to Indianapolis, Indiana. She had a perfect score with no breakdowns at all, even though she was a capable mechanic. I found out by doing some research on her. She came in first place and never got a medal because she was a female, but the male competitors felt really bad and they chipped in and they got her a gold pendant, apparently. So that's pretty cool. Fast forward to 2015, I was lucky enough to attain a 1911 original paint Wagner motorcycle, and it's on display and on loan to Wheels Through Time in Maggie Valley, North Carolina. Our friend Dale Waxler actually got it running for a TV show he had on a few years ago. So if you ever want to see the bike, go down and visit it. Her family, Clara Wagner's family, actually comes in to visit. Her granddaughter Nancy and I have become friends, and the grandkids come, and it's pretty cool. So I just wanted you to know a little bit about Clara Wagner. Thanks. Wow. What do you think, huh?
Oh, well,
cool.
I remember how excited you were to get that Wagner.
I know.
That was a fun day at the auction.
Yeah, I was pretty much in tears. I was like, oh my God, it's such a cool bike. And it's really neat that I got to be friends with Nancy. Clara was her grandmother.
Very cool.
I had her on the phone, oh gosh, about a month ago. We talked for like an hour. It was really cool. Anyway, just wanted to. Yeah, and then, the suffragist rights coming up. There's so many things going on right now for women. I'm just so excited that we have Alyssa Clickinger coming on, I think, next week.
I got to tell you, this market segment is really on fire. The women's motorcycling. I mean, you gals have got it all going on, man. Got it together, really.
I'll tell you, I'm just so, it just blows me away because our guest that's coming on tonight, Gina Woods, knows because she's kind of from the same era that I'm from with all this stuff. And to see all these events, the events just blow me away. There's so much going on every week. Not that we don't like riding with men and going to other events, like, all the events are great, but to have events just for women or based around women is just pretty awesome, I think. And the manufacturers are stepping up, and Indian's been great. Can-Am, Polaris, they really, Harley, they're are all really recognizing that 20% of the market, I believe, is women. So
Hey, I see that Lori is tuned in to watch us, and I saw the news about Gloria. So I just want to send get well soon to Gloria. We love her. We miss her. Hopefully we get to see her this year. And hopefully she'll heal up pretty quick, pretty soon, and we get to see her again.
Yes, special hello to them. I talked to Gloria yesterday, and she's doing better. So we know Gloria. Gloria is one of a kind, one in a million, Yeah, so our guest tonight, I want to say hi to Michael because he did chime in. I guess he's at the airport.
Right.
He's watching the show. Hi, Mike. We miss
Hi,
you.
Mike. Thank you for letting me occupy your chair for this evening.
He's got to come home and sleep now. Not that he ever sleeps, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, anyway, I get to be Ed McMahon tonight. Hi-oh!
Okay, we're gonna do our Karnak thing. Okay, what?
Michael Lichter in an airport.
So we have a wonderful guest tonight. When she's one of those people that when we first were going to do this show, she was on my list of people because she's number one. She's the one that started doing this before all of us, and Open Road Radio, 1997. But Gina's just a wonderful person, a great advocate, spokesperson for women in motorcycling. She rides old bikes. I mean, what's not to love, right? We love Gina. Anyway, let's bring in Gina Woods. You made it home.
Your production is so amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Well, that's Chris Callan. That's Chris Callan at doing the production work.
Yeah,
we know that.
We're just lucky ones.
Chris Simmons does all the legwork, getting everybody organized, and she is the boss girl.
No, we're not the. Wait, I saw Beth chiming in. She said, "I'm not the boss of anybody." Well, you know what, Beth? I am. Yes, Rob. Rob was my mechanic on the Cannonball. He knows. I'm like.
I gotta say a couple things. Number one, books. What?
Book?
Yeah,
Look at that book.
Oh my God! Plug away. There you go. Thank you.
Wow! Look at you.
Damn. Oh yeah, Biker Chicks with a Z.
With a Z.
Talk about all the books. I have so many coffee table books. They're actually quite a wait just because there's so many. Oh my God, there's so many great books in the motorcycle industry. But these are some of the best books by Chris.
Oh, how nice is that?
And I just want to say,
and you two can own the watchers can actually own that book, can't they, Chris?
Yes, they can. I think.
And how do they do that? They look at the top of the screen, or they?
Yeah, there. It's there. I have a garage full still, but it's great.
And Michael Lichter photos too. They can own those. Yep. So
yep, definitely.
You guys don't give yourselves enough credit. But let's talk about Gina.
Thank you. Yeah, Gina.
So
we're both kind of from the same area, But tell us about who, this Open Road Radio thing. Where'd you get this idea to start this radio for motorcycle people?
Oh my God. So it was a long time ago. And thank you so much, you guys. And I love you. And thank you for having me. Chris is doing amazing things with all of this multimedia stuff, because radio was really easy back in the day. And I have always had a face for radio. So now you got to do this. It's just like, but he's doing amazing stuff always, always. I just, that's my brother. I love him so much. And, Open Road Radio was just because I worked I went to school in Austin, Texas back in the day. And I was at Austin University, and I was taking journalism and broadcasting communications, and never listened to a lick of country music. And then my first gig when I graduated Columbia College here in Chicago was US 99. It was country and western. It's like
Both kinds.
did radio in Texas, but never listened to a lick of country music. And then my first gig was country music. I'm like, oh no, I kind of missed the boat on that back in Texas. But it was great, and I really,
truth, Gina, 3 chords in the truth, right?
yeah. I did a really big network in radio because as anything I do, I try to put 120% into it. And I just, everybody in the motorcycle industry as fast as I could. I'm sorry, in the radio industry. I'm kind of skipping ahead a little bit. I just had a really great time in radio. I knew that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get that message out. I wanted to go and talk to people and live broadcast. I wanted to be behind. Back in the day when I started with John Howell at US 99, we were doing 8 tracks. And he would slap my hand if I was 1 second off. I mean, it was brutal training. This was after I got out of school. But getting into the real radio stations was it was cumbersome because it was real, but it was like, wow, I'm here, and I'm sitting on top of the John Hancock at US 99. Chris.
Yeah, I've been up there. Yep, I remember that.
Yeah. And it was an amazing time to be in radio when everything was still Howard Stern and Yanko, and radio has changed so much over time because it was just really walls out DJs. That was we went from, if you listen to early radio, it was very scripted, and then radio became very loose and kind of started to get into the commercial aspect. I worked for public radio too as well, and they didn't do any commercials. So then you got the commercial realization, and then you had like the Man Cows and Howard Stern, and
oh yeah.
And don't forget your station IDs and hitting that cart machine at the right time, right?
Oh boy. But everything was so regimented. I mean, you really got to be right on. It's not like we can play with this kind. It was really, and Chris knows. Chris Kelly knows when we were on radio. A couple of the times when we first started, and the F-bombs would go off or something like that. And, the whole radio station was shut down for a second. They're like, don't do that again. Yeah, it was,
the delay button, yeah.
Really?
Right,
So
Chris?
what came first, the radio or the motorcycles for you? Did you ride motorcycles? You did radio?
So really, radio came first. Motorcycles came in when I was very young. My first time was my uncle, Michael, picking up my mom in West Chicago, Illinois, and taking her off for a ride on a Saturday. And I heard that, and I was like, can I go for a ride? Can I go for a ride? And he's like, no, not till you're 13. I had to be like 9, and I'm like, wow, that's a time, man. I'm thinking, I don't want to wait that long. And I heard that sound, and that just, that was done. I was done. I think that sound, and, to this very day, I will always still look when you hear a sound. I don't know if so many people are still affected with it when they're older.
I'm too. But my kids, I'm like, oh, that's a Sportster. Because you can tell after a while, the sound of what,
Motorcycle down the street. Do you still look? Because I do.
Oh yeah.
Oh, when I hear a bike, it's like everything stops.
Oh yeah, I'm like,
what was that?
Where I'm at, I'm always looking. I don't care where I am. I'm always looking at that.
No matter where you're at, you still. I mean, I always look. Right.
That's right. So how did you learn how to ride? What's your story about that?
That might be a little scary one. I'm not sure I can talk about it right now. That was at the Buffalo trip. I went out with my son's father, my son Jake's father, and we went to Sturgis. It was my first year, and I just had a great time, getting around all this crowd and knowing. And I was really interested in that. I'd already been riding with a guy in Austin where I went to school, and actually his bike, it was such a long forked chopper that usually if we got on it, that front end got there about a half an hour before we did. It was just like, it would be like around the corner and that thing would be there. We'd be catching up. And people all along the streets of Austin, Texas would be rolling up their windows. Kids, moms would be going, roll that window up from the back seat. It was just like, I was horrified. I was like, what? What is that about? I mean, this guy was long hair and long beard and, and a long front end. And, that just, it caught me. I got the bug and that was done. That was it.
Oh yeah, that's great. That's awesome. So I know you've owned that, you have a Panhead, 49 Panhead, right? It's your main ride, isn't it still?
Yeah, so I just took that to Texas over the weekend and debuted it. And that was a blast. I debuted it with JP Cycles because this is the third paint job in 30 years.
Wow. So there's your Panhead right there.
Yeah, every 10 years, whether it needs it or not, right?
Right.
Not really sure, but you know what? I just caught a bug and said, I got to do it, Yeah, maybe so. Maybe I catch the bug every 10 years. It's like, time to redo it. As soon as everybody gets something else, I got the ape hangers and the flames, and then everybody got ape hangers and flames, and I was like, oh, I'm done with that. So I want to redo it. And then I got the distress. Probably out of all the great pictures I sent you, I probably didn't send you the
yeah, there's some pictures in there. We can look at some of these pictures. I know there's quite a few of you in here. I love number one. Number two is when you first started the radio. I love that radio show with Tiger. I remember her.
Oh my God! So that's amazing. That is, God, that's me. Like 30 years ago, Dan Schmidt, who does a motorcycle talk TV show, and then Chris Tigerley, who was just amazing. What an amazing girl.
I noticed there you don't have the big hair. Everybody has the big 80s hair. That's the 90s.
That's a good thing because that was in the late.
Yeah.
That was in the late 90s, so I didn't have to worry about it. The big hair was over.
Right. So your Panhead is like, how long have you had it? Like you said, like 30 years, you think?
Years now, yeah.
Holy crap.
Tell us a story a little bit about that Panhead. What is it? How did you get it? And then what is it that you love so much about that bike, other than it being yours?
Thanks, Rob. So the reason behind that bike was that I was working at Illinois Harley. Chris, you'll know that.
Yes.
And they were over on Harlem Avenue at the time. And first I looked at a flathead, and then they told me what the flathead would do. And I'm like, oh, no, that's going to be way too slow for me. I can't do that. I have to get a faster bike. And so I got a piano. It was teal at the time. I wish I would have found that picture for you. And I thought, no, you know what? We're going to change this thing around. So it was teal. And I bought it because I was going out with my son's father, and he just loved pianos. He had a shovel head at the time. And we were kind of always a little bit up and down in a relationship at the beginning because we were young and silly and fun and stupid. And so we broke up, probably for the weekend or something. And I went out and bought a piano because I knew that was the first bike he wanted to buy. After he had a couple other ones, that was the first bike he wanted to collect. So I had to be the first one to get the Panhead. And sure enough, was right there. So I figured that would bring him back around. But
oh
yeah,
my
so
goodness.
yeah. So that was.
Your bike was better than his, right?
Oh, are you kidding? He knew it was better than his. Yeah, he just fell in love with
Oh,
that
that's
panic.
funny.
That's
To
awesome.
this day, well, you know, I know how to manipulate now. Now I'm telling the world, unfortunately.
Wow.
Can Chris, if Callan, if it's not too much, can we bring that picture back up, and then maybe you could highlight some of the things that you love about this bike and things that have changed. Tell us a little bit about the bike. What is it? What, I mean, I know it's a panhead, but what else?
Right. So it's a 49 panhead, and we put obviously kick only. We put an advanced distributor on it. Got those bags. Yep. So there's put an SNS on it because they were a sponsor of the radio show. That helped a lot. Put those bags on it. Went to an event in Vegas, and friends of ours from the Vegas Motor Speedway said, "We'll go up on this mountain, and there's a really nice trail, and then come on down and we'll meet you at the bar on the other side." And that was some friends of mine from Titan. Remember Titan motorcycles back in the day?
Sure.
Yeah, so they were set up at the speedway. So we go up there, and I get those bags, and I'm looking at them. They're sitting on this wall, and I'm, oh my God, can I grab those bags? And she said, "Yeah, you can have those bags, like $150." I said, "Okay, what if I wanted to ship them?" She said, "Yeah, I could ship them to you." I said, "Fabulous, I would love to have those." So I get them back to my garage about 2 weeks later, and I opened them up, and they're bags from Mexico. They're real Mexican horse bags, and they're 1953. That's the year I was born. And so it was amazing because there was newspaper articles in there. There was like newspaper stuff in there to keep them full. And so it was an amazing treasure. It was an amazing find that I found those bags. And I've kept those bags on that bike ever since, till just now.
I've got one more question. Tell us why one exhaust pipe is black and one is chrome.
Well, it's because it's been ridden so long that it just distressed.
Good answer. I love it.
That bike really has been ridden all over. It went
Cool.
that was its second paint job, but it's broken down in every state of the union. And that's how I've learned how to fix it. But
I was gonna say, you're pretty mechanical, and you must be because you're riding an old bike. So that's what happens, right?
By calling John and going, "What do I do now?" Walk down the highway and look for a pop tab. Because back in the day, they had pop tabs, right? Look for a pop tab because I had to do something with the distributor. So they always talked me through everything I needed to do. I don't think they had the video concept back in the day, but I could talk to them.
Well, I want to talk more about we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, I want to talk about the Her Motorcycle Project, the stuff you did with the Chrome XX all women bike builds, cool stuff. Probably started with all your mechanical stuff on your panhead. I see where that was born from. But let's take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back in about a minute, you guys. Hang on. Okay. See you soon.
Go fast.
The Fueling name has been associated with racing and high-performance engines since 1974, when founder Jim Fueling started fueling the flames. From Daytona to Monaco, from the Bonneville Salt Flats to the Indy 500. Fueling is here to compete. Look for the Flying Pig to run up front this year with pilot Ben Bosman. Fueling. No bullshit, just performance.
Welcome back, everybody.
Who has the best sponsors?
I don't know. Maybe we all do. I just love motorcycle commercials. I watch them when they're on TV too. Usually I mute those things, but you know, when if I see a motorcycle, it's that thing again. You know, you turn your head, you want to see what's going on, right?
Yeah, you know, and it's nice to actually see motorcycle commercials because you don't get enough of them on network. That's for sure.
I know for sure. We have a lot of people watching here with some questions. Hey, Dean Schaller. Oh my God, I haven't seen you forever. How are you, dude? And Keith Cronoff wants to know, Gina, was that bike a rigid frame when you first got it?
So no, it wasn't. So that was in that was not rigid at all. It was a late shovel, and we just recently put it in that's definitely not. We just recently put it in a rigid. So yeah, we kind of transformed it over. And the reason being, it's just I've got such bad knees these days. Tried to lower the compression. I mean, Chris, you know, been kicking these bikes for a long time.
Okay, wait a minute. You went from shocks and you made it a rigid. Okay. I don't know if I would do that now, but
I know, right? At this stage in the game, what am I thinking?
Thinking about it anyway. Yeah. So you got involved with these. Tell me how you started these all-women builds. Was this your idea to do these at this show?
So we just found out that there were so many people that were doing bike builds, and that was the days of the Discovery Channel. And I thought, wow, why aren't they showing any women? What's the deal with not showing women building bikes? And, you know, I hooked up with some really great people out of the Chicago area, Skip, David Names. And we just found out that there's a lot of women out there. And I wanted to showcase them. I wanted to highlight their talents and their skills and what they're doing. And you know, we started this, you know, back in the day before all of this social media, you know, so we did what we could to send out emails and tell people and do pictures and, you know, nothing like it is now. But I can't tell you how amazing these people are. We got SNS there. We've got Wildtech, Jamie Shields, Kim Jordan, Jody Perowitz, Laura Block, Sarah Liberty, Kim Jordan. Yeah, just amazing people that women that have been involved. Some that were her project, Honor and Courage, recognized women in the military that were military women themselves. So it was just an honor to be able to do that. We took that bike around for a year and a half, and we raised monies, and we ended up giving $23,000 to the military academy. So
tell our viewers the name of this series that you did.
Called the Her Project, H.E.R. Honor, Encourage, Recognize Women in the Military. And it was amazing. We grabbed some sponsors, and people were just starting out to do that. Kayla Kuhn did the freehand on both of those bikes. Just amazing contributions that we had to this project. So it was really exciting. And We took it to the run of the wall. We took it to the wall. We took it to Marcel's, the Freedom Run. We took it to anything that we could take it to raise money.
And when was this?
This was in, gosh, what's the date on that?
It says 2009.
That was 2009. So that was our bike build in Daytona with Jesse and Dozer and Floaty and Jody and Sarah. So her project was 2014.
2014,
Was
right?
We would do one every year or every other year.
Wow. And were any of these filmed for any? It was just something you did live to the show.
We did them for 3 days at the events just to actually, Skip and I would get the bikes ready in the garage. We would build the bikes, and then we would tear them back down, take them to paint, mock them back up, and then, distribute them in different bins so that the girls could build them and show people. I've had so many people. We started one with Athena back in the day, and that had to be right before we did. That was probably our first one in 2005. And people were coming up to the stage going, oh my God, that was at Fat Man's up in Gurnee. And people were coming up going, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this. We had, some girls crying and guys going, wow, are you kidding me? And, I really thought we were onto something by doing that, by expressing and getting the message out that, if we could do it, I mean, anybody can do it. You can do your own. And we just wanted to prove that women can do what men can do. And that just try it. And we invited women to come up on stage and look at it, check it out, even try to put some of the parts on too. We just wanted it to be very open-handed for people to get involved and to be able to check it out. And back then it should have gotten a lot more publicity than it did. I wish I would have done a lot more with it, but you don't think about it then. You think you're doing the best thing you can.
Yeah. So the XX Chrome builds, those came before the Her Project, correct? Those were before
the
Her.
So that was the Her Project kind of segued into that, but the XX Chromes were like the very first builds that myself and Sarah Liberty and Jody Perowitz and Laura Clark, Kim Jordan really got into it and started doing. Athena was there.
I'd love to see that come back around again. I mean, Jesse.
What is the amazing paint artist, Rob? You'll know. What's the paint girl on the East Coast?
Joanne Wardle.
Yes.
Joanne.
She was on the first one. She was on the first one too. And our whole thing was to just film it and try to sell it to the NAPTI people, and we just try to make a message. All that discovery stuff was going on with guys, and we were just dying for some women inspiration.
Yeah, they never really had any women on. I think they had Vivian Charles, Barry Wardlow's wife. I think I read that she won the biker build. There weren't very many women though.
Vivian is amazing. Yes, I tried to get her on this one.
Yeah, I want to get a hold of her. Do you know how to get a hold of her? Let me know because I really want to have her.
I do.
I think she's going to do the chase. I saw that she was signed up for the chase, which is another thing I want to talk to you about.
With Barry, I think, right?
Barry's going to do it.
Yeah. She's going to do it with Barry. Oh my God, it's so cool because she's like a crazy worker, right? She's got to always travel to California because she's a nurse. So she's
been busy. Yeah,
I'm so excited busy. She's doing this with Barry, man. That is gonna knock it out of the box. That's gonna be really cool.
So let's talk about some other things that you've done. I know that we got some great pictures. We should go back and roll some of these photos that we kind of skipped over after the bike builds. I'm not sure. There's the one with Gloria. I just love her. We gotta say special shout out to Gloria again. You're doing her thing. That's kind of how I met you. Is when I think you came and did something with Pat once.
That's what WGN. I worked with WGN for about 2 years. And
wow, that's big time.
Mm-hmm.
I bring them into the. I did. My first career was radio. I was still a motorcycle chick, but my first career was radio. Yeah,
There's
that
love.
was at the
Yep.
those studios.
Well, your show, we must say, I have to plug your show, Open World Radio. It's on Saturday mornings, 11 a.m. Central Time, which is really like early for me in Hawaii. So I actually, there it is. I just love your show. And you have the, you come out, you from all over the place. You're just kind of remote. You're in the studio. You've got all these cool guests every week. But if you don't know it, check it out. It's great because now it's video, right? It's on Chopper Town. Is that where you on your Facebook?
Yeah.
And
Our
where else can
platform
we-
is Chopper Town now, but we've got some big announcements coming.
Ew.
Everybody's got big announcements. Well, this is the
I
year,
know,
right?
right?
This is
I
the
think
year
that-
for big
I-
announcements.
I think that's the catchphrase. Big announcements.
Right. You always got something going on. I mean, you did it. You were guest. You got up at Biker Bells. I mean, I run into you. You're everywhere, so that's cool. And tell
Well,
us
that's
about
because you are the queen of
right.
motorcycling.
No, you're right. No. I want to know about
Upside down, no less.
what happened in Tennessee. Did you guys have fun? Did it rain? Was
Yeah, tell us about Tennessee,
it
man.
windy? What
All right.
happened?
Well, I cannot tell you about Tennessee because I was in Texas this past weekend.
I'm sorry. That's right.
Okay.
You were in Texas.
That's
I was
okay.
thinking Michael's in
Tell us
Texas.
about Texas.
There were
We
two
went
women's
to the-
events. One was in Texas, right? Moto Lady, and then the other one, Moto Maiden. I get them mixed up yesterday.
Well, the Tennessee rival was in, the Loretta Lynn, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Rival was in Tennessee, obviously. And then we had the Get On Moto, which was in Texas Motor Speedway with Bob Kay, Marilyn Stamp, MIC.
Right.
Everybody was out there. They did the AMD bike show out there. They had a women's ride-in show. Tice was out there with his wheelie experience. Takaraki was out there. There were about another 200 other vendors. So, it was kind of a really, I thought they put it together at the last minute. I really was wondering how it would be. And I heard from the locals that they really didn't know too much about it because it turns out that I know a lot more people in Texas than I thought.
I was going to say, why did you pick that? Why didn't you go Tennessee? Because I would have been like, because you're in Chicago, you could have went to either one. Maybe Tennessee was closer.
Yeah, so maybe Tennessee was closer, but I've kind of partnered with JP Products, JP Cycles to do this bike build that I just recently did, and hope you saw it because that was amazing. So
Yeah, we got to shoot a picture of your bike.
we debuted it there. So
Yeah.
it was kind of important to get down there. And then George was there from Komodo Holdings. That's a whole brand new thing for those guys, Komodo Holdings with Revzilla. And, that's a big thing in our industry now is these guys are, there she is.
Oh my gosh, it does look better with that rigid frame.
Does she have a name?
She's always had a name because that was my future ex-husband, the Allman brothers, Greg Allman. But then he kind of left me a little too early so that I could be his sixth or seventh wife. But it's just to be, it's always been sweet, Melissa.
There you go.
She's always been, and that's the same bike. That's the same bike that I started out with 30 years ago. We just like to change her around a little bit.
I have to say that paint is pretty cool. It's different. Yeah.
Chris, I got to tell you something, and Rob, you're gonna relate to this exactly. So I put on right there. I put on the ape hangers because back in the day, ape hangers were cool and the flames were cool, and I really loved that. That was one of my favorite looks on that bike and favorite feels because it just glided with me. First time we went down Spearfish Canyon, it just went. I just became one with the bike with those apes because everybody's like, what are you going to feel on those apes? And I'm like, no, I love it. That was really cool. And then when I went back and just redid it as a stock bike, which is the distressed look, I haven't ridden it yet. So I'm excited to see what
So
that's
let's bring it up again. Bring up that picture and you tell us
What did you
about
do?
this.
Tell us everything you did.
Tell us about the paint job and all that stuff.
So it's really fun. What's really cool about it, What's really cool about this bike is that's with partnering with Chain Peak Cycles, we did a little bit of the old and a little bit of the new. So, we've got like the new front end, we've got the old, we've got the tins, we still got, the motor, obviously, the gas tanks they provided. We've got the old school, everything is all taking it back to, I do have the advanced, but it's still kick only, the advanced electronic ignition. So we wanted to keep it old and new. You guys are going to tell you something that's hilarious. There's so many people that don't. So this sat in front of my booth all weekend, and people don't look at things. They really don't. They don't look at things because they're like, oh, wow, how old is that? That's a barn find. It's actually a paint job, but it's supposed to look like that. So that's really fun.
Where,
well, you did a good job if that's what they said.
Where'd you find the frame?
So
Had you had the frame?
The frame came from Ted Psycho. We did. So that's part of the old and part of the new. It's a repop. So a lot of the parts are newer, but a lot of the parts are older, obviously. You've got a motor, you've got the trans. So many of the parts are original on that bike. And then some are new from J&P Products. So it's kind of a combination bike. If anybody's got a great name for that, let me know.
Keith wants to know, is that a toolbox on there?
Toolbox is original, Keith.
There you go. Keith's got a good eye.
So
I like these pipes better too. Those pipes
have you ridden it, Gina?
So we have not ridden it because obviously I just brought it back, but we literally got that done Wednesday at 4:00 and I left at 7:30.
Wow.
It's
so that's going to be a new experience for you riding that.
Chris Kelly will know. It's one of those garage builds that you do up until the last minute, like right before you're leaving. And then it's
Can
done.
I get an amen?
That's for sure.
Right?
Great.
Right up until the day the cannonball leaves.
Yeah.
Right, Chris?
That's how it works. That's right. So
tell
us why right?
That's what happens. We're all busy in this. I mean, obviously, Rob, I think, must be retired or something. He seems to have a lot more time than me and Chris do on our hands. But no, it's just that you're busy all the time and things are constantly. So I would work all day and then I'd go to the garage and I'd work on that at night and just realized that we needed more. And because of COVID, we had a lot of challenging times getting some of the parts that we needed, like everything coming in at the same time, which it never did. You did one part 4 weeks ago and another part, like yesterday. So the COVID thing was very challenging for us. But we had a great debut, and the Get On MotoFest was amazing in Texas, and just as amazing, I hope, as the revival from Tennessee, because I know so many people that went to that. And
I know. That's why I kept getting messed up, because half the people I knew were at one and half the people were at the other one. I was trying to get together, but anyway, let's talk about the chase. Yeah. Let's talk about the chase and your wonderful son. He's so adorable, I have to say. And I'm not saying in a cougar kind of way, but
Yeah. So big proud mother here. Big proud mother. I am just stoked that Jake got that. So
tell everybody what happened. You know what the chase is. It's a cross country. I believe it's actually going from Sault Ste. Marie. Oh wait, I'm sorry. It's a mini chase. I'm sorry. I'm so far behind.
Yeah, it's okay.
Cape Girardeau to Cape Girardeau. 5 days. It's a mini chase. Correct.
Yes. And then it goes kind of around in a circle and then it comes back to Cape
Well,
Girardeau.
it doesn't exactly circle and nobody knows where it's going, and they're going to be gone for 5 days. 5 days, nobody knows where they're going to end up at night. They just know that they're going to start in Cape Girardeau and they're going to wind up back there after 5 days.
So no one's going to know where Jake is.
Come on, Mom.
Jake is.
Not even Jake.
I'm kidding.
Come on, Mom.
You're right.
I'm not. You know what? I don't even have the information.
No, they don't want
Jason
to.
almost got shot by Leanne for almost telling me where they were going.
Yeah, but it'll be a pretty route, about 250 a day. Just a
I
nice,
know nothing. I know
nothing.
nothing. Oh, Hogan, you're such a card.
It's a good reason. It doesn't want people to send parts. It doesn't want people to
Right.
gather, and it's kind of cool, that they do that. So.
It's very
And
good.
Because what he wrote an essay, and I guess Chris Tribby and God, what's the other guy's name?
Alex Trepanier.
Alex, I'm sorry. Hi, Alex. I know you. But yes. So they came up with an idea to sponsor a younger rider because most of us are geezers, okay, on these rides. Let's face it, there aren't that many young people riding the old bikes. There's some, but we need to get more involved. So I think it was a great idea they came up with a contest to get some younger people involved. And I guess they had to write an essay. What can you tell us about that, Gina?
So they did, and Jake sent me his essay. I think no. I was one of the judges, so I got to read his essay. I didn't even know he wrote the essay.
Oh, so you didn't do his homework for him, did you?
I did not. He really did this by himself. That's me again at college. And John was kind of like, oh, he doesn't need to go to college. He could just go to college around here. I'm like, no, let him go way out there and experience it. And, we live like 2 blocks apart, me and John. And I was like, he doesn't live with you. So let him go out to Iowa. Because he needs to. He's 18.
He's in Iowa. He's in college in Iowa, correct?
Correct. Yeah. And he came home to build his bike with his father. And they built his bike when right before he left for college. And so he's been riding the 56 Pan for a couple of years. And he was able to get everything done on it and really get it up. He was probably 17 by the time he finished completely. And him and John, were part of the Antique Motorcycle Club of America, Badger chapter, Prairie chapter, and we got Jake involved. And so they've been doing a bunch of rides, for the last couple of years. And Jake, every time I've done stuff like swap meets or live broadcasts or, Brower House, bike nights, Jake would always ride. I've got this Schwinn long front end chopper bicycle. He always rode that around the parking lot for hours while I was working. So he was kind of already kind of geared towards getting a bike ready. And then
I don't think he had a choice. I mean, I saw a picture on the Chase website of him with a panhead motor when he was just a baby. Just a little baby swing or something.
That's so cool.
He's grown up in the motorcycle world, so you must be really proud that he's doing
I should have said that too. I was so proud when I read his being a judge of that, and it was amazing. Really the bios that all of those kids brought in, and then there were some 30s and 40s and a 65-year-old guy. It was just amazing what the offer gave them the opportunity to try to be involved with, and how grateful and excited they were about it. So really, I would have given a bike to everybody because it was really exciting to hear these people's story.
And he's how old now?
No, he's 21.
21. Does he still ride with mom? Or was there a period he wouldn't ride with mom?
That's a good question.
Never ride with me. He had more because he's been at school for the last 3 years. It's kind of been hard. We've rented a couple events together. I've got my panhead down for a couple of years because of my knee problems, but that's why there's a lower compression now and I've rebuilt on that motor. So this year's going to be a great time for the 3 of us, I think.
And you're not riding the Chase?
Uh-oh.
Oh, so mom will know where he is.
Oh, it would
I
be
think
cool.
I just spoiled the special announcement. Did I?
Think about it. It would be so awesome because there's been a father-son in the Cannonball a couple of times. There's been a father-daughter on the Cannonball, but there's never been a mother-son father.
I think we heard the special announcement here tonight by mistake.
Oh my God.
Breaking news. Where's the breaking news banner, Chris?
Prodding. You're prodding, Rob. You're prodding.
I ask the tough questions. Chris will tell you that.
Rob,
And
I
you
think
have
these
to.
are- thank you.
What was that, Chris? No, not that Chris. The other Chris.
I think you're psychic. How did you know to ask that question? Because I mean,
No, I'm psycho.
she's not
I'm
really-
not psychic. I'm psycho.
She's not saying
You know,
anything.
Chris Summers is a huge instigator. So we're going to see what happens.
Hmm. Hmm.
Well, that would be
And
awesome.
she's always for women writers. So that's why.
So let's take this a step further. Is
Uh-oh.
Dad riding the chase too?
So
Now we're getting
He
to
said-
it. Talk about this.
he
Where we
just
need
joined. Well, I was like, oh, I'll go along as media and I'll be like there all the time. And he's like,
No.
oh, no, just leave Jake alone. He'll want to do it himself.
That's what he said.
So then Friday, he's like, oh, guess what? I just got my papers. I'm like, you did what? It's like, okay, so now you're going. Okay, I got it. So then me and Chris had our own little talk.
We did have a little talk.
I had no idea.
You
No.
didn't, because I didn't tell
I
anybody.
swear to God, I had no idea.
I didn't tell anybody.
But we're going to spill the beans tomorrow night on Cannibal
We didn't
Chronicles.
spill the beans because we don't. I mean, you know, Gina. It's here's another thing. It's July when? When is it? July 7th? July 5th? What's
Fifth.
that?
No, I think it's like July
5th.
Yeah.
6th.
So you got to
5th,
break that bike. in.
right after. Like the day
Every-
after.
Yeah. So you got a lot of work to do. You got to break your motor in.
Easy peasy.
you don't want to break down in the
Start riding. As they say in New
Right.
York, start riding.
We got it. I'll have that bitch out
You
right
got
tomorrow.
Well, I hope you go. I think it'd be an awesome adventure and something that you guys, Jake will never forget it.
Chris Simmons.
Yes.
Oh, geez.
Oh, geez, don't you know? Good luck with that, Gina. And please,
Gina, that's exciting.
we'll have you guys come back on. We'll have you back on after.
I'm so excited for Jake. I really am. I'm so excited. He won that, and we were just like on pins and needles. I'm sitting with John and Cindy, and that's Jake's stepmother, and we're sitting in the. We had just come out from the garage, and we were. We've been working on the bike to get it ready for the Moto Fest in Texas. And we're sitting there, we're listening. And I swear to God, we were just like looking for the lottery or something. We're just like all sitting there waiting to hear it. And then they call it, and it was Jake. And I think for like 45 minutes, our hearts were just pounding. We were crazy about it. People were calling.
Secret
Well, I
location.
was
See
watching
that?
the Cannonball show when they announced it.
Secret.
That was so fun. That was so fun.
And we
to
just went the lottery. It just felt amazing. It was so much fun.
Which
And
bike
Jake
will he
is
be
calling.
riding?
I'm sorry.
Which bike will he be riding?
So actually, you know, the first winner was supposed to ride Alex's because he's the one that started it. He
Right,
started
the
it with
Indian.
Indian, right?
with the Indian, and then they opened it up because it kept getting so involved, and
Oh,
you know,
it snowballed.
on that show that they announced, went like from 100 to like 1,500, and then 2,000, and then like 3,000, 4,000. I don't know how much they raised all of a sudden, but it was fabulous. And so then they brought in another boy that won it, and so he's gonna ride it with Alex because he's actually stationed in California. So Jake is gonna ride Chris Turby's bike.
Oh, the 45.
Stepped up in offering him 45. He said he just couldn't hold himself back. He's like, I gotta get involved in this. He's such a cool guy.
I
Yeah,
know.
that is very good.
It got so amazing. I mean, and that's what's so cool about this motorcycle industry that I just absolutely love. It really did. It felt like the Academy Awards or something was going on because people were listening to it. And then, like, you saw the donations coming up. Chris,
I felt like I was on a telethon that night. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So that was so
So
much
we're gonna
fun.
have
So-
we're gonna have Chris and Alex on tomorrow night in the beginning of the show.
Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic. I got
So
a bunch of.
they're going to talk a little bit about what's been going on. So
Yeah, and I want to bring all the guys on, all the winners on the show
cool.
on the for Open Road Radio as well. It is, that's what I'm so proud about this whole industry. It's just like we're all connected. We are all so freaking connected. Whenever I
a
go
little too connected sometimes, but
Well, that's what's great about having this show, especially, I mean, it just came out of, and congratulations, because the Cannonball Cannonball Chronicles just had their first anniversary, right, you guys?
yes. Tomorrow will be 1 day short of 1 year.
That's
So I think, and hats off to Cyclosource Media, to Chris and Heather for having the idea to just, to launch all these shows during the COVID
Unbelievable.
It really kept everybody connected, and now we're still going with it, even though we're, pretty soon we'll be off the whole thing.
They own 9 p.m. Eastern. They own that.
Yeah, it's so awesome, all these shows. So thank you guys for doing that. And I still want to talk about something else you got involved in, which was your bars. Tell us about your bars.
Oh, all the bars that I go to.
Not those bars, the health bars, the things that the ones you eat. There it is, full of horsepower. Are you still
Wow.
Yeah.
All those biker bars that I go to.
Biker bars.
Yeah. So those are some amazing superfood energy bars that when I first did the biker bar, it was all about everybody goes, here's what they do. They go to 7-Eleven, they get one of those 5-hour energy drinks, and then they're going halfway down the road, and you got a midday. I don't want to say the word because I hate saying that and motorcycle in the same word. So you have a CRASH crash and, in the middle of the day because you drink the energy bars, and then it ends up just slowing you down like immediately. So I wanted to do something that would be very sustaining to the motorcyclists. And I had just come over a bout of 2 years with fibromyalgia. And that's really when I started to try to eat healthy. My big thing was always, drink a lot of whiskey and smoke as many cigarettes and sake like that. I just be at every event, being the badass biker chick I thought I was. And then it was just like, you know what? We need to change this up and get really healthy and get really smart about eating and health and, where we're at when we're riding as older people and, what our intake is, so the intake is really important. And so all of these are organic. Everything is organic. In fact, most of the initial products that I got for this was from a friend of mine that has a produce company, an organic produce company in Barrington, Illinois. And we started to pick their produce and figure out how we can make this into Chris is going to show me off right here. He's going to make this motorcycle out of chocolate. And I love it.
I'm not paying attention anymore. I just want to eat that.
Keep going with it, Chris. That's awesome. I love that.
Cool. So where can we get these bars? Are they available?
Wait a minute. I apologize. This is from your Feel the Horsepower Facebook. I didn't realize.
Awesome.
I didn't realize.
Because that's actually somebody I know that did that. Yeah, absolutely. And then one of my friends made one that was very small that I could give, and I gave it to one of my lawyer friends. It probably helped me out a little bit at the time. That's why I did it.
Oh, so where can we get the bars? Are they available anywhere? Your website?
They'll be available in 2022.
Hold on, Gina. Gina, you got to say that again. Your mic got muffled. Say it again.
They'll be available in 2022. So John Paul DeJoria is one of our sponsors on that. Investors. We've been doing it for the last couple of years, and I'm just getting back into. Now I have a new manufacturing company that's right down the street from me on 83 in Des Plaines, Illinois. Chris, you'll appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very close to me. They're amazing bars. They're very sustainable. I won the gas tank. Remember when the MIC did the gas tank mentorship program? So I had Steve Johnson from President of Tuckeraki be my mentor on that. They still do the gas tank mentor program for companies in the motorcycle industry that are new and open to new sponsorship, advertising, and just getting started. They're entrepreneurs that need help or mentorship, and that's what the gas tank program is all about from the MIC. Really cool stuff. It was an amazing experience. I've done it for the last 3-4 years, and we're getting ready to go into full production now. So, this is the 24th year for Open Road Radio. I'm thinking about making that transition out. So we'll see what happens.
Wow, well, you have a lot of. I was going to say what's next for you, but you just told us, so that's.
You're going to leave a void if you do that on Open Road Radio.
I tried to figure out how I could clone myself. Maybe I could just ask Chris Callan to clone me.
No, listen, you can't go anywhere. Just hang that up right now. I can't take it. I cannot take it. You stay right where you're at.
Yeah,
I know, but Chris, you'd be the best at making me virtual or doing anything or just duplicating. And
you need to mentor somebody. Pick your own replacement.
Yeah. That could be hard.
Thank you for joining us, Gina. It's just been a real pleasure.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome. What a story. Great stories.
Yeah, really cool. Thank you. I can't thank you enough for coming on the show. And we'll have to come back and talk to you again after the chase and see what happens.
Yeah, see how the family did on the chase.
Be continued. Have
you guys are amazing.
Competition.
You guys are amazing. And I love you both. You guys are both amazing.
Just remember one thing, Gina. Don't make it the Griswold chase, okay? You don't want it to be the Griswold family chase.
We're not telling. We're not telling.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you. We'll talk to you soon. Good luck.
Thank you guys so much. Love your show.
Okay. You take care. So cool.
Well, that was fun.
Wow. I think we started something there with the chase thing. I don't know.
Breaking news, huh, Chris?
No, I talked to her the other day, a couple days ago. We talked about it, but she said, I don't know if it's going to happen, but I wasn't going to bring it up. But you did.
I had no idea. Nobody told me not to.
No. Well, thank you. I want to say hi to Michael. I think he just got home.
Yeah, Michael, there's something here from Michael earlier that he said, let's see. He says, you're correct. I'm beat. I haven't been to sleep before 2:30 a.m. since last Monday, but wow, what a great time in Tennessee.
That's normal for him. Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah.
So what's up with you? Anything going on?
So Tom Banks is going to come out. We finished his single engine.
Nice.
And I posted some videos up on Facebook and on my page. He's going to come out. We're going to swap. We're going to put the motor in, and he's going to ride around out here. We're going to ride around out here, Chris.
Oh, without me?
You can come out.
Well, he doesn't have a battery to start on fire this time. I love Tom. He's a great guy. I'm so excited that he's riding that single. That's not a big deal.
And then we have Ryan's working on another Cannonball motor. And then Bert got his 13 single. So we did a 12 single, 13 single. Then we have to do a backup 12 motor, a backup 13 motor.
Cannonball mode.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
That's great. And tomorrow, Matt Miller's going to be on?
So, yes, not Roy Miller.
I know.
Pat Miller.
I know.
Matt Miller. Pat Miller.
Riding partner on the 2019 chase.
Yes, I am excited to have Matt on. Not only is he a great rider, but he's a great friend.
Yeah.
And he helped me out when I had my move over here. And he's a fun guy and a great guy. And you know that. So.
I do. We traded off. I taught him how to read the road chart. He helped me with my bike a few times. So.
But I have to say, in addition to that, I missed the decider. I haven't talked to the decider in a while.
He'll be around. That's my husband. He calls him the decider. I don't call him that because he's not.
Well,
You can let him think.
he'll
Ooh,
decide whether he is or not.
yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much. I want to thank our sponsors, Metzler and Fueling and Banks Brothers.
And Gina's social media stuff. Let's
Road
take
Radio.
Open Road Radio, and
Yep.
and a couple of her other things that she's doing.
Yep.
So that was a lot of fun.
Stuff going on. And thank you, Fast Cycle Source Media Group, Heather and Chris, Chopper Town.
I want to say thank you to Michael and to you for allowing me to invade your space here for tonight.
Thank you for stepping in.
I really appreciate it. And Chris and Heather. And tomorrow night, Chris Tribby, Alex Trepanier, and Jason, as always, hosting his ass off. So mash that like and share button.
Mash it. Hear it. Send me something free.
Send me something free, Sims.
Anyway.
Well, thanks, Chris.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week. Oh, yeah. Get that horse in there.
There's that horse. So that's that. What's that tell us?
Tells us it's time to go. Anyway, have a great week. Be safe, everybody. And we'll see you next week. Same place, same time. And, and don't forget Torque Thursday nights. Shop Talk.
Yep. Torque with Jason Holman and John O'Brien.
Yep. We'll keep this thing going. We'll see you guys. Have a great week and see you next week. Thank you.
Giddy up.
Thank you.